Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we're looking specifically into a no contact and or separation situation, messages from your person. And I've got two piles for you. This is pile number one, this is pile number two. Pile number one is First Aid for Broken Hearts Tarot. And pile number two is Orion's Animal Tarot. Take your time, see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to. I do want to say this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If one pile's messages don't resonate, then choose the other. If both piles' messages don't resonate, then it just means that maybe there aren't any messages for you in this video today, but I do hope that at least one of the piles' messages do resonate. There is not going to be an extended for this reading. Please be careful of scammers. I would never reach out to you asking you to follow, subscribe, or book a private reading, so just please be a little bit careful about that. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. I'm going to give you a few seconds now to see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to, and then I shall begin. Hi pile one, for those of you who chose the First Aid for Broken Hearts Tarot, this is going to be your reading, all right? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so first we're going to see what is going on between the two of you, and then we shall get into the messages. So the what is going on part should help you confirm if this is your reading or not. The Chariot, Princess of Swords, and the Hierophant. Okay. Things might have moved very, very fast in your connection, so much so that there might have been a bit of crash and burn kind of energy, or maybe too much happened in such a short span of time, and both of you have kind of been separated at this point in time so that you process the energy that was exchanged between the two of you. It could also be, the processing of the energy can happen different ways, like it can be triggered in different ways. Maybe one or both of you went too fast in this connection and you were not able to cope with the changes in the connection, so that might have led to a split. The common theme for all of you is that the connection didn't go at an aligned pace. Yeah, that's the message that's coming. It went too fast, and I think that one or both of you were not able to cope with the intensity of this connection. It might have started out as probably like a one-night stand or something casual. This could have also been a situationship that maybe progressed too fast, and one or both of you, to me, honestly, it feels like this is your person's energy more so coming through. They were not able to handle the intensity of how fast things were going between the two of you, and they decided to maybe set their energetic boundaries, or they decided to walk away. This person could have ghosted you as well. Would not be surprised. There's something about a lack of explanation that's coming through. It could be that your person didn't understand what was going on, like their mind was not able to catch up with them physically distancing themselves, like they were not able to understand why there was that friction between moving things forward. So they might have ghosted, or they might not have been willing to admit it to themselves that this is going way too fast and I'm not comfortable with it. Because there was a denial of it, or they were not able to admit it to themselves, they definitely were not able to communicate that with you. I am seeing lack of communication going on over here. So you might be really confused as to where this person disappeared, or you might be wondering what exactly happened in this connection, because everything seemed to be going okay, or actually seems to be like max intensity, and then suddenly the next day it just wasn't there. And if that sounds like your connection, where it was high intensity and then suddenly this person disappeared without any explanation, the explanation coming through is that they were just not able to keep up with the intensity. Perhaps when the connection started out, they were prepared to keep things casual, or they didn't expect it to go beyond that, and they understood that in order to sustain a relationship that is more intense, there was definitely a lack within them. They knew they couldn't handle that intensity. There was a gap within them, And whether they realized it consciously or not, subconsciously they knew, and they knew they had to take a step back, right? So if that sounds like your connection or what was going on between the two of you, honestly, I feel like you didn't get any explanation from this person. So the explanation coming through is they knew they weren't ready. It was just as simple as that. They knew they weren't ready, but they couldn't admit it to themselves, and even worse, it feels like they couldn't admit it to you. And the reason why I said even worse is because for them, they would rather just disappear and let you think that they didn't care about you, rather than letting you know that they were not ready for this connection, and rather than admitting that to you. So it's a little bit confusing, the energy even coming through, Pal One. So I completely understand why you might be feeling a little bit lost about this connection. Like, what happened? Everything was going well yesterday, and then today everything's just gone, or everything just disappeared overnight kind of energy. So that is the explanation that's coming through, though I don't think that you would have got clarity from this person. All right, so I am going to pull some message cards for you. If any messages come out more than what has come out, I will say it as and when the messages come to me, all right? So let's go. And I also want to say, take what resonates, leave the rest, okay? It could be past energy, present energy, future energy. I'll let you know as we work through the cards, okay? I feel like shuffling again, so let's do that. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay. We'll pull a few and then I'll talk about it, okay? We'll figure it out. I will. I don't know. I've lost you. Okay, let's talk about the cards that have come out up until now. So first off, as you can see, very confusing. Even if the way that the cards came out is like first black, then white, then black, then white, then black again. They do shuffle in between. Like, I don't know what to go about this. I maybe we'll figure it out together. Maybe if I told my person what I was thinking and what I was feeling, maybe they would understand. Maybe they would kind of work with me on this. And then they're like, no, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, or I don't think it's possible. Or then they think, okay, maybe I should talk to them about it, and then they kind of withdraw. The thing is, your person is very worried about how people perceive them, and more importantly, how you perceive them. So it might be difficult for them to admit any shortcomings on their end, and for them not being ready for this connection, it just feels like they're not supposed to be in this energy. There's like this pressure on them. Either they're putting on themselves, or maybe people around them might be putting it on them, saying you are supposed to be ready. Like, this person meets everything that you were wishing for. Why aren't you ready? You know, that's, to your person, it feels like a testament to what's lacking within them. Right? I understand why the energy is so confusing. It's really, really confusing even for me. Like, to tap into the energy, it's like your person's all over the place, and it's very, very foggy in their mind. But the truth is, your person actually cares about how you perceive them, and they don't want you to see them as someone who's lacking. And frankly, your person is not able to accept that about themselves as well. Yes, the ghosting was hurtful. Yes, them walking away without any explanation was hurtful, and that by itself might have portrayed a very, I guess, negative image of this person, but they would rather have that image of themselves by you than you thinking that there is a lack within them about stepping up for this connection. So it might not make sense, Pal One. However, it's not about making sense. Frankly, it's about understanding that there are fears that are coming to the surface by your person or from your person, and no judgment, and we just have to accept that that is their thought process. To them, it makes sense. To them, it is justified. It might not make sense to anybody outside of it, but that's the thing, you know? Sometimes people act in ways that only they understand. Only in their perspective it feels right or it feels aligned, but that also is coming through the lens of their own trauma, their own unhealed wounds, their own limiting beliefs, their own insecurities. But at that point in time, given all that they're going through, that feels right, or it feels like the most aligned step to them, right? So the reason why it's coming out in your reading and the reason why I'm being called to explain this to you, Pile 1, is because you might not understand your person's actions, but now's not the time to understand it. Now's the time to just accept that this is where your person is, all right? And then let's get into more message cards. Let's see from another deck. Let's see what wants to come through. I believe in your intentions, knowing you would never intentionally cause me pain. I'm having a hard time focusing. The constant stream of what ifs is wearing me down. The way you've been acting lately makes it hard for me to feel connected. You said you'd never hurt me, but your actions have made me feel betrayed. I want to create countless memories with you, ones we'll look back and smile about. Okay. All right, so a few messages coming here about the next set of messages that have come up. So first off, I think that maybe when your person ghosted or started to behave a little weird, a little bit different than they were, I can imagine, the intensity was completely at its peak, and then all of a sudden this person might be acting like they don't know you, or they might have been acting like this connection wasn't as intense as it was. They might have brushed it off, and that sudden shift in their behavior might have caused you to perhaps lash out at them, or perhaps continue in the same intensity as you were showing up, and then realizing there's a discrepancy, and that by itself might have been too forceful on your person. So, and I don't want you to blame yourself, Pile 1. That is very important. I don't want you to blame yourself. I feel like you were still in the thought process that yes, this was going the way that it was. I mean, if things suddenly shift in your connection without you being notified, it's natural that you will continue being in that energy. So don't blame yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. All right. There is nothing that you did while showing up in this connection that was misaligned. In fact, if your person had told you, I think that you would have taken a step back. I think that you would have been more understanding, but you were still going in the thought process that you and your person were on the same page. So you can't blame yourself for that. That is the most important message that is coming out in this reading for you, Pile 1. Another message that's coming through is the way that you've been acting lately makes it hard for me to feel connected. Yeah, I think it's the intensity. You didn't get the memo, so don't blame yourself, all right? Just because your person feels difficult to connect with you, it was their responsibility to speak up and let you know so that both of you can realign your energies, but they didn't. All right, so that is not on you. And that is something that your person has to understand. This is a process of their understanding that they can't blame you for what they did not communicate. Nobody is a mind reader over here. All right, so your person needs to get into that energy. All right, so even if they might be blaming you internally at this point in time, I don't want you to take it personally, okay? That's very, very important. Another message that's coming through is I think this is aspirational energy. It's more like, I think your person started to see a future between the two of you, and they started to recognize that there could be something more between the two of you, and that by itself might have scared them. It's also possible that with the Hierophant coming out, your person might have felt the urge to commit, or might have felt the possibility of, because we have the Hierophant, it's traditional, it's marriage, it's commitment, that kind of long-term partnership energy. So I feel like maybe thoughts of it started to creep up on your person, and then they realized, hey, no, this is not who I am. Or there was a certain version of themselves that they felt they needed to adhere to, or it just caught them by, by unaware. Maybe there were past wounds that your person was still moving on from, and they thought that this kind of a connection would not come their way, or they thought that they would be ready for it when it came, and then when it actually did come into their life, they realized that they were not ready. Sometimes we wish for things, but are we actually ready to handle when the wish does come onto our lap? Sometimes we're not. Sometimes we think we are, but when it actually does start showing up in our reality, we realize that it's not, and that also can scare us as well. So I'm including all of us into this. I think that, it's a very natural process what your person went through. The only thing that I see misaligned was them not able to communicate that with you, or not even being able to tell you that something is up. Even if they didn't understand it themselves, what they could have done was at least tell you, hey, something's not right? I need some space. Like even just saying I need some space could have realigned the energy between the two of you, but this person chose to run. In their mind at this point in time, they feel it is the most aligned thing to do, all right? But one big message coming through for you, pal one, is don't blame yourself, all right? That you didn't get the memo, the person did not communicate that to you. If they did, things would have shifted dramatically in your connection. So don't hold yourself, don't be hard on yourself. Yeah, that's the energy that's coming through, all right? So these were the messages from your person. And I feel like there is also an acknowledgement slowly starting to seep in with your person that, you know, if they had just told you what was going on, you would have understood. And maybe you were still in, like you were still continuing the same intensity without understanding what was going on their end. And you would never have done that intentionally. It's just you really genuinely did not know what was going on your person's end. And if you knew, you would never be intentionally in that energy. You would have backed away. So I feel like subconsciously there is an acknowledgement, which is probably why it's coming so strong for me, like through me, sorry, that you should not be hard on yourself. And you actually genuinely did everything in your power to, you know, align with this connection. But the misalignment was on your person's end. All right, and they should have communicated at that point in time. That message is coming through very, very strong in your reading today. Okay, let me get you one message to wrap up the reading. Two of Pentacles, a resourceful mind preserves balance while juggling. Yeah, I feel this is an acknowledgement, probably from your person's higher self coming through. Pal one, that if your person had let you know, you would have balanced it. You would have, you know, balanced the intensity that you were feeling while also respecting the fear that was kind of playing in your person's mind because of the intensity. So I think the final message is for you. At this point in time, give your person the space to work through whatever it is that they need to. I think that there is a lot of processing that needs to happen. Like sometimes when, and I'm just sharing this with you, this is something that I have experienced personally as well. And it's suddenly playing in my mind. This was a couple of years ago, so maybe it's important that I share it. So sometimes what happens is we get what we want, okay? But at that point in time, we think we're ready, and then as we slowly start to experience what we want, we realize that there's such a big gap between the person that we need to be in order to handle that weight of the blessing, that we get scared and we walk away, we run away, we decide that we're not worthy of it. What is actually supposed to be a line of thought that I need to work on myself to become better, it becomes I'm not worthy. You know, that's where the lack is, that's where the misalignment is. And sometimes that line of thought that I am unworthy can make us kind of go into a shell and run away from facing the fact that yes, there is growth that needs to happen within me. I need to work on myself. It is, yes, escapism in a little bit of ways, but it's also just that the intensity of what we wanted right in front of us, the reality of it, yeah, that can be scary as well. All right, and so, but the reason why I was called to share my experience is that actually the point where we realize, okay, either there are different ways that we handle the situation, right? One, we think I'm not worthy. Second, we realize, okay, there's a gap, and then we need to work towards reaching that point where we're capable of handling whatever it is that we're given. Now, in both of these, or even in the other ways that this could play out, the common theme that occurs is subconsciously you actually start preparing for it. Subconsciously, you start to recognize what is the endpoint you need to get to. And whether you know it or not, your mind is constantly working to help you get to that point where you feel secure with whatever it is that you've received. It might take some time. So I feel like subconsciously that's what's happening with your person, even though they might feel like, okay, I'm not worthy, or this is too much, this is too soon, too much, I can't trust it, I don't want it. Yes, this is what I wanted at one point in time, but I don't know if I can be the kind of person to handle this. Whatever your thoughts, whatever their fears might be at this point in time, that is in their conscious 3D. In their subconscious, they're actually working out a way. Our mind, our subconscious is so powerful. It's constantly finding solutions for us. And the problem at this point in time is that your person sees the gap, right? That is what their subconscious mind is working on. So subconsciously, I feel behind the scenes, your person is working on becoming ready, or at least seeing themselves as worthy of maybe more in this connection, or even starting to work on their growth so that they feel good enough to hold on to this connection, or hold on to the intensity of the connection. It takes some time, and like I said, because this is more on a subconscious level, it might not be outward, and because it's subconscious and your person's not intentionally working on it, it takes a little bit longer. All right, but I do see that point that your person is going to understand that this is what they wanted and it's here, and they need to step up. That is the growth that is going to happen with your person. At least that's where they're meant to get to. With the Hierophant coming, we have 2 major arcanas coming out in your reading today. All right, so that's the end point that your person has to get to. Maybe this connection, like there was a glimpse of what could be for the two of you, so that your person could mentally and emotionally, and maybe even physically, spiritually prep themselves to handle the intensity when it came back into their life. So I do see like I'm able to tap into some kind of reconciliation energy when your person is ready, but it's going to take time for that, one. All right, I do see that, because it's a very, I want it, I don't want it, but I want it, I'm not ready. I can see it, but do I trust it? It's very like wishy-washy kind of energy, but at the same time, there is a desire for it. And it's only because that desire energy is coming through that I feel there will be an opportunity for things to come back around when your person is ready. All right? Okay, pile 1, this is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you were looking for. There is not going to be an extended for this reading today. I just wanted to put that out there. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. But if this is where you'd like to leave me, then I just wanted to say thank you so much for all your love and positive energy. Pile 1, take care, trust your intuition, you always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hi, Pile 2. For those of you who chose Orion's Animal Tarot, this is going to be your reading, all right? Before we get into the reading, let's take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes. Think of your person. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Alrighty. Pile 2, specifically for no contact and or separation situation, messages from your person. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to look into what is going on between you and your person. So if that resonates, then the messages will resonate with you, okay? So that's how you check if this pile is for you or not. But I do hope that the messages do resonate. Okay, pile 2, what is going on? Okay, this one wanted to come up for you as well. Alrighty, we have the Knight of Wands, we have the Four of Swords, we have the Magician, we have the Chariot. Okay. You're manifesting this connection. Honestly, I feel like both of you are manifesting this connection, pile 2. It's kind of like both of you are fed up with the no contact between the two of you. Maybe it's been going on for too long, or both of you have just been in this standstill energy for so long. It's possible that you might have waited for your person to reach out to you. Your person might have been waiting for you to reach out to them, and both of you are just kind of like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm waiting for the other person to reach out. Both of you are watching each other. I can see that. Both of you are watching each other, and you're watching each other very, very intently. Both of you want this connection. I really don't know why. Okay, maybe something beyond what I'm able to tap into, that you're waiting for your person and your person's waiting for you. There is a very, very strong desire to come together. Both of you hate the standstill energy. Like, I don't usually use the word hate, just because it's just too extreme and too intense for me. But I'm getting the word hate in your reading today. there's a desire to move things forward between the two of you. Both of you are feeling it. It's not even like it's on your end. No, both of you are feeling this. There's a very, very strong reconciliation energy coming through in your pile today, pile 2. All right, so if you've been feeling, okay, so how will you know if this is your reading? Okay, so the first thing that you'll be feeling is you're feeling antsy. You're feeling a little bit anxious, you know, like, why hasn't my person reached out, or we should have been back together by now. You know, this no contact is absolutely ridiculous. We should be, you know, sitting together and talking things out. We need to be spending more time together. Just not talking to each other does not make any sense because no one's solving any problems. If you've been feeling that frustration growing within you and you've also been tapping into that energy from your person, yeah, this is definitely your pile. Both of you do not like this no contact. For you, the no contact's not making any sense. For your person, they're also starting to feel the urge to reach out to you, to do something in this connection, even if it is just saying, hey, how are you? Or even, hey, you know, just three letters. Just there's some desire to take action, but yours might be in frustration. Your person's might be more as checking in kind of energy, all right? So and your frustration, I'm able to tap into it. It's kind of like, you know, is this how we are supposed to deal with it? Or do you not even care that we haven't spoken in so long? Like, that's the frustration that's coming through, but that seems like more your energy. Your person's energy is more like, okay, well, should I check in? Maybe if I say hey, or I accidentally send a message, will that trigger a conversation? So it's more of that checking in energy that's coming from your person. On your end, it's frustration. All right. So if that sounds like you and what is going on in your connection, let's take a look at messages from your person. All right. Okay, hold on. I have more cards in this deck. Okay. You're definitely more frustrated. Your person's a little bit more, I guess, cooler in terms of their energy. That's also coming through. Like, suddenly I'm feeling fire on one side, ice on the other. That's also the energy that's coming through. But both of you desire to speak. Both of you desire some kind of change in the energy, and you're waiting for the other person to do something. But because it hasn't happened in so long, you both actually might be feeling impulsively at this point to take some kind of action. Okay? Okay. Yes, let's go. We have self-love. We have I feel unimportant to you. Long-term. Masking. Yes, I can see that. I feel so alone. Begin. Yes, I did get that. And keep going. I'll catch up to you. Okay. So let's first get into all the energies that have come out right now. So first off, I feel like on your end, it's been more of a self-love healing process, which is probably why you're stopping yourself from reaching out. Perhaps in the past, you might have always been the one to reconcile. You might have always been the one to reach out to your person. However, this time, I think that you've kind of learned the lesson that it cannot always fall on you, the responsibility of reaching out, the responsibility of reconciliation. So I feel like you've kind of thrown your hands up in the air, but at the same time, it's causing so much of frustration because if roles were reversed, then by now you would have already reached out to your person, right? If the lesson, you'd not learned the lesson, then by now you would have already reached out and you would have started trying to talk to them about a reconciliation. But now that you know you're not supposed to do that, or that you're feeling that frustration of not wanting to go through or not wanting to put yourself back like through that again, it's kind of coming out as frustration that why aren't you doing it? You should have done it by now. You know, do you even care? Do you even know that we're not in no contact? Like, does it even matter? Like, it's coming out as that frustration, but actually the frustration is that the lesson has actually been ingrained in you. I'm smiling because it's counterintuitive in a way where you think that the frustration is on your person, but actually it's because you've learned your lesson, right? Because you've learned a lesson in self-love. That's actually where the frustration is coming from. Not calling you out. It's absolutely natural. It's a very, very natural process, all right? So, but now that you know where that frustration is coming from, you can work through it, and you can, center yourself. You can calm yourself down, because why put yourself through that frustration? It's very, very unnecessary at this point in time, all right? So you probably have learned some lessons in self-love where you're kind of holding your boundaries and you're not overgiving, you're not doing everything in this connection, and instead at this point maybe you're tapping your feet and waiting impatiently, but you are still waiting for your person to be the one to reach out, to be the one to make effort. And I'm hearing this time, all right? Another message that's coming through is your person knows it is on them. They know, even though subconsciously they have been waiting for you, they know deep down that no, you are not going to reach out to them. Or maybe your person waited for you for a little while, and then now they're realizing that, hey, that my person, yeah, that's not going to happen. They're not going to be reaching out. So, oops, I have to be the one to reach out now. So you're kind of putting that energy back onto them. They might have put that energy onto you, saying, oh, you always reach out. You always are the one to reconcile. But now you've kind of put the ball in their court of sorts. Like, if you want this connection, then come forward. Now that's kind of the energy that you're in, and they know it. They know it. So the reason why it says I feel unimportant to you is because you've not reached out. But that's actually your lesson in self-love. And they also are kind of going through their own healing, where they understand that it's not that they're not important to you, it's that you want a healthy balance in this connection, and that is important to you. You're not just your person, but them coming in with aligned energy is now important to you. So now that they understand the difference in your energy, that's where the real work starts, where they start to understand that it has to be them coming with more aligned energy. That realization is still ongoing, though, I will tell you that. But they're getting there. I will say that they're getting there. That's why I feel like there is an energy of them reaching out to you. It's already coming through, but it will be a little bit of an understanding on their end. They need to process this information just a little bit more, but they're getting there. They will be the ones to reach out to you, all right? And they know it as well. With masking going on, I think it is very obvious. I think both of you might actually be masking. Maybe on social media, you might be showing that you are completely okay. Maybe your person might be showing that they're not thinking about this connection, or both of you are avoiding topics around this connection on a more public sphere, but internally both of you are definitely, I will say, definitely spiraling about this connection. And I will also say that both of you have been quite exhausted about the energy in this connection at this point in time. Even if it is no contact, I think that the energy between the two of you is just very intense. The no contact and waiting for the other person, or wondering when the message is going to come through, when the other person is going to step up. I feel like just even those thoughts and those feelings might be quite heavy on the two of you at this point in time. Yes, your person does feel alone. I was feeling that energy as well, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that it is aligned. Your person is kind of being made to sit with the consequences of their actions, and their actions being not being an equal partner in this connection, not stepping up to the plate, not being able to put forth their energy, and always taking, but never really giving back. And so this is a consequence. I mean, at the end of the day, you do get what you give, right? And you've not given anything, then you're not going to get anything. It's just manifestation going on. Wow, I'm being so sharp with my words. I don't know why. What is it, the energy? I'm not usually like this. But I'm feeling quite sharp with my words. I might be tapping into someone's energy over there. All right. So I'm definitely tapping into someone's energy. Okay. Anyway, so it's very, it makes sense why your person feels alone at this point in time, because they're realizing that you're not going to reach out, and if they want to not feel this way, then they have to do something about it. They have to take action. So one lesson that your person's learning is that actions have consequences, and their inaction too was an action of sorts. With begin and keep going, I'll catch up to you. I feel like this is more of their higher self coming through. Pile 2, I don't think that this is coming through from your person's 3D self. So with begin, I feel like there is an opportunity for things to come around. I think that your person's on the verge of reaching out. Their reaching out might be, I wouldn't say surface level. There's definitely going to be an intensity to it, but it might sound casual. Like it might be like, hey, can we catch up at some point? But then the place that they suggest would be something that is important to the two of you, or something that means something. Or they will reach out to you on your birthday. They might say happy birthday, but the fact that they remembered and they reached out to you, that by itself, you know, you can show that this person cares about you. Or they'll ask you like randomly out of the blue something about something that happened between the two of you, and you'll know that they have been thinking about you. You know that they're feeling your energy. All right, with keep going, I'll catch up to you. Keep going on your self-love journey. All right, don't settle, don't lower your expectations, don't lower what feels aligned to you just because you're worried that the other person cannot catch up, or that you are misaligned to where they are at. No, if that person is meant to be in your life and naturally aligned with you, they will step up, they will align to your energy, if it is of course meant to be, and if it is part of the soul contract between the two of you. All right, but in your case specifically, pal 2, with keep going, I'll catch up to you, I feel like this is their higher self kind of reassuring you. You might be worried, you know, well, are you forever going to be misaligned to me? Yeah, I feel like that's an answer coming through, that no, they will catch up to you. It's just a matter of time. You keep going, they will find a way to align with where you are at on your healing and self-love journey. Okay, let's get a few more messages. Let's see what wants to come through. I'm worried we're growing apart and I don't know how to bring us closer. Yes, I feel like your person is starting to recognize that the distance between the two of you is growing, not because you are walking away, it's because you're standing still and your person is just where they are at. And just even though you're just standing still, you're not walking away per se, it feels like you've walked completely away. I don't know how to explain this. I need a little bit of help. Okay, so what I'm hearing is, even though you're standing still and you are waiting for your person, in their perception, how they're feeling the energy, because you're going through your self-love and your healing process, your energy is starting to feel more and more far away from them, right? And that's just because of the like kind of ascension, or just kind of the frequency that you are elevating to, all right? But that again is not your responsibility to calm your person's fears. They will have to work through it, and they are going to work through it, right? With keep going, I'll catch up to you, they'll work through it. And it's possible that that fear is necessary for your person to recognize how much this connection means to them, and to even kind of give them that starting push to take action rather than being passive about this connection, all right? So there's nothing that you have to do at this point in time. Honestly, the energy that you are in, like not waiting per se, but just recognizing what you deserve and not settling for anything less. Yes, that is aligned. What I do see is slightly misaligned on your end, pal 2, is the anger and the frustration that you're feeling, all right? That might be a little bit of a misalignment, because it's understandable why you feel this upset. It's understandable why you're feeling the frustration, but that by itself is actually a wound that is being shown to you, right? You can wait, you can surrender to this connection, but there are different ways to surrender. At this point in time, what it feels like to me, because I'm tapping into your energy, is you might be surrendering with pain, with resentment, with anger. However, that only aligns you to pain, to more resentment, to more anger. So if you surrender with that energy, then your person might come back, all right? You might be aligning to that, but you're going to be aligning to maybe your person coming back in a misaligned way that leads to more pain, that leads to more anger, that leads to more frustration, more resentment on your end. However, if you surrender with peace, you surrender with strength, what you're doing is you are aligning to a timeline where your person does come back, but their actions lead to more peace, more alignment on your end, more natural, more flowing on your end, all right? So how you surrender is also important. The energy with which you are standing on your side and you're holding your boundaries is also important, very, very important, all right? Okay, that is the message coming through for you. Then let's get into more cards. Okay. I love our ordinary moments together. They feel like the happiest times in my life. That's really sweet. I'm scared to let you in this deep, but I know it's the right step. I'm revealing so much of myself, hoping you'll still love all that I am. You said you'd never leave me feeling alone, but now I feel hurt and abandoned. I told you. Every time you hold me, it's like all the noise fades away, leaving only the quiet. And one last one. I'm stuck in a dark place, feeling like nothing I do will change things. Okay, so yes, we did get themes of them feeling alone at this point in time. But that is the process, Paltu, that is the process to help them start understanding that they can't be passive about this connection. If they really want it, they have to step up, they have to align with this connection. And I do feel that they are getting a lot of help from their 5D self, given we have Keep Going and Catch Up to You. They might be in a dark place at this point in time, they might be struggling at this point in time, but they're starting to realize that they need to be the ones to step up, and they need to be, it's kind of like the energy coming through or the message coming through is, your person may not have taken action, because if they take action, it's telling you how much this connection means to them. And so the process of how they're aligning is them getting ready or getting comfortable with the idea that this connection means something to them. And because they start getting comfortable with the idea, they'll be able to show that to you as well. It won't feel shameful to them. It won't be embarrassing to them that this connection actually means something to them. It's not a testament to you. It's got nothing to do with your value or your worth. It's them. They might be feeling ashamed of their feelings. Maybe in the past, they might have been berated for having feelings or having emotions, or they might have been hurt so much in the past, in past connections, that they thought, oh, showing someone how I truly feel, it might lead to a power imbalance, a fight for power in the connection. It might lead to them taking advantage of me. So whatever your person's reasons are, Paltu, at this point in time, it's not really coming to me per se. I'm getting so many different reasons, so maybe there must be a lot of reasons why it could be happening. But the core of it all for all of you is that your person is afraid that if they reach out to you, if they are the ones to break the silence, then it's telling you that they care about this connection, and this connection means something to them, and they need to work through that fear. There's something about vulnerability at this point that your person is not able to work past, or they are working on it. So for some of you, their higher self is really guiding them. For some of you, they are on the verge of contact. For some of you, the contact might come more like, oh, okay, I can't constantly be in this energy. It's working against me. And then they might reach out to you. For others of you, it could be them truly working through all of their fears and then stepping into the energy of, yes, I need to show my person how I feel. So I'm getting those two lines. So how your person reaches out, the core of it will be because this connection does mean something to them, and they do want something more in this connection. And it looks like however they show up, Paltu, it will show you that they care. It's going to be very unique to them, and it's going to, like, if someone else were to see that message or see that action, it might not mean anything to them, but to you personally, it will mean something. All right? Like, for example, let's just take an example, maybe the coffee shop across your apartment. All right, to somebody else it's just a coffee shop, but maybe for the two of you, that coffee shop was the first time that your person said I love you to you, you know, so that place holds special meaning. But to everybody else, like me included, that would just be a coffee shop across the apartment and just wouldn't be anything special. So you'll know that your person truly cares by the way that they show up and by the way that they are going to communicate something that is very unique to the two of you. Only you and only you will get that message, right? That is how they're going to come in, and they're coming in. Might take a little bit of time, but we have the wand energy. It does seem a little bit faster. than what you'd expect. So they're coming in, and it's going to be in a way that's very unique to the two of you. Like, you get the message. Only and only you are meant to get that message, and you'll get it. All right? Paltiyo. This is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. But if this is where you'd like to leave me, then I just want to say thank you so much for all your love and positive energy. Paltiyo, take care, trust your intuition, you always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.